Welcome back, everybody, to the CHG podcast.
What's that?
What's up? David has a cool jacket on, man. What are you
I
wearing?
do. It's a Jujutsu Kaisen
Oh,
jacket.
oh, JJK. Okay,
JJK.
that's coming back, right? New season, or is this another
It's
show?
out. The new season is out
Okay, is it good?
in Japanese, at least. Yes,
it-
very,
Yeah,
very good.
Very good. Okay.
Well, depending on if you like the characters, I guess if you like them and don't want to see them in pain,
It can still be a
then
good
maybe not.
season. It can still be a good show. People who are really that nitpicky need to get a life. Okay, it's still a good show.
No, I'm just saying that it's bleak.
Okay,
It's very, very bleak.
But the best animes are bleak, so it's fine. Like, come on. So okay, cool. I heard about it. I think it's also getting a new game too. I think, if I heard that correctly.
You know me and anime games.
They're the best. You love them. There's also new the new
They're
Budokai.
terrible.
The new Budokai game got announced. That's like the good one. That's the good one. Everyone likes that
For
one.
a fighter, whatever.
It's the good one.
You know me and fighters.
No, okay. First of all, I found out. Okay. Now some of them like Budokai, I don't know what to call those. I don't know what you could call that. But the other one, like the One Piece games, those are Dynasty Warrior games, man. You don't like Muso games? You don't like the Musos?
I like the Musos themselves. I don't like when my anime gets troped in with them.
What?
I fucking want a real RPG where it's just set in the world of One Piece. We fucking talked about this shit before. Until I get it, I'm not gonna like any fucking anime games.
Wait, well, we got an RPG without the ship stuff in Odyssey. Did you even try Odyssey?
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was just around the crew, and I already talked about that I don't want it around the crew because they have a story that is being told, so no anime game, just like almost no movie, is ever going to be impactful to the story because it won't fucking matter. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
It's fine.
No, it doesn't matter. It's
okay, so
inconsequential.
First is the gameplay. You get kind of like that, but then you're like, now the story. It's like, there's no winning with you.
No, it's always been the story. It's always been the story.
So, okay, if you got the right story, but it was a Muso game, would you like it?
Yeah. If I could create my own character in the land of One Piece, and it was a Muso game, and I went on an adventure and collected a cast of characters, even if it wasn't an RPG, I'd be like, cool, I love this.
I don't trust you. Anyway, so let's move on. We have a lot to cover. It's been a couple weeks since when we last met, and a lot of stuff has happened. We were going to cover some stuff. We're going to talk about the Game Awards. We're going to talk about the GTA 6 trailer. We got a lot to go over. But first, as always, what we're playing. I finished Gran Turismo Sport. I got it done. Got the platinum. It took me 150 hours to do. I did not know I was going to be playing an RPG. But it was 150 goddamn hours, and I got it done last weekend.
You chose this life, man.
And holy shit, man, it was a why. At the same time, funnily enough, because I'm still playing the PSP game, so I kind of just play that off and on, play a few minutes at a time. Someone discovered cheat codes for the game. It was buried in the code, but he found 2 cheat codes that do work. I tried one of them. One of them is to unlock all the cars, and the other one's to unlock max money.
It makes sense for testing.
Yeah, like that's how we found it.
It must have just never been taken out from the testing.
Yeah, that's how we found it. He was like in the debug or something, developer code or something. He was in something. Yeah. The devs we were using, and they're convoluted codes. Like that's probably why they were undiscovered for so long. You got to press start and select and L, and then you have to put in the code input. So like the way your fingers, it's like not intuitive at all. It's not just like hold L and R, then press up. It's not that like. And you have to do it at the main menu screen, and like that game doesn't have a traditional main menu screen, so like I can see why it went undiscovered. It's also because like that was in the time where cheat codes were getting wiped out in most games because it came out in 2009. But I tried the max.
Because why have cheat codes when you can have DLC?
So yeah, it was cool. I tried it. It worked. So I have max money now. So like. You can't just buy the cars right away. They rotate. That game's weird. It rotates the cars you can buy on a 2-day basis. So like, I was already buying a bunch of cars, but I was like not buying the cars that were $1 million or actually 100,000 or more. I was like, nah, I'm not buying them. But now I can just buy everything. I'm like, hell yeah. So it's fun. And then after I finished Gran Turismo, I was like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, what do you even do after this? So I actually booted up Jack and Daxter Precursor Legacy. I have a PS4 copy because they were all re-released on PS4, and they were given physical releases from limited run games years ago. I didn't buy them then, but you can rebuy them on eBay. People are also selling them for solid prices. A lot of the listings are for the collector's edition that they all came in with, like, but a lot of people are selling just the games, and I just want the games. And I actually got one of them for Christmas last year, and so I decided to boot it up. And since it's a PS2 game, and I've already platinumed before on the PS3, didn't take very long. And Jack 1 is my favorite out of the trilogy. So I got the platinum, finished that game in like 2 days because it's not that long of a game. Also, that game did not age as well as I thought it did. You can't move the camera up or down. I did totally forgot about that. You also can't invert the controls either. So the camera, left and right camera, was not how I usually play. That was confusing. But then when I got used to that, I played another game where I had it how I like it, and I had to get used to that again. It was really confusing, but we got through it. The platforming is a bit spotty, but it's still a lot of fun to play. It's not too bad. Had a lot of fun. It was just fun kind of just coming back to a quick game that I can just have some fun with, not think too hard about. And then I booted up Ashen. It is a indie Souls-like from Annapurna. Those are those weirdos that make those weird kind of funky games. I can't remember any top of my head. Oh, I think they were responsible for publishing What Remains of Edith Finch. I think they published that game. They're more of a publisher, but they published this game, and I heard it was okay. I heard a lot of people talk about Souls, like especially the low key ones. This one's constantly brought up, and I bought it a long time ago. Decided to finally boot it up last night. Played about 4 hours or so of it so far. It's not bad. Definitely clunky. Definitely slow. This is an older game. It's like 2017 or 18 or something like that. So before all the faster paced Souls games came out. So it's definitely slow. It's definitely clunky. Definitely some things are not refined, especially after playing Lies of P. Like, oh my gosh, I just want to go play Lies of P again. I was like, oh, this is like the epitome of Souls likes that aren't from software. But but I'm so it's not bad. I'll finish it up. I'll clean it up. I'll get through the whole game and try to really get the most out of it. You don't level up. It's like Zelda. You don't level up. You just like you level up your health and your stamina by just completing quests. You don't you can't like there's no there's bonfires where you can say, but like you can't do any of that. And like your armor equipment, you have to just find better ones. Like for shields and armor, you have to just hopefully find a better shield and a better piece of armor in the world rather than make it or whatever. You can upgrade your weapons and you can also find them, but they're usually broken and you have to go up. You have to like repair them at your base, the main base, and then you can continue further upgrading them. So weapons can be upgraded, but nothing else. At least that I've seen. I don't know if it gets unlocked later, but nothing that I've seen so far. So that's been interesting. So yeah, it's just interesting to see this more. It's a weird take on the Souls like. It's a very weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on Game Pass. It might be. You should just give it a go. Co-op is heavily emphasized in this game because you actually have a partner that will just show up, like an NPC partner that will just show up. You don't summon them; they just show up. Now you can toggle that on and off in the options, but it's interesting to kind of have them there. And yeah, they're not the smartest. They will just they won't really block or shield themselves, but like their health pool is bigger than yours, so they don't just like
all gas all the time.
Pretty much, but they don't like just go down in one hit though. They do take some, they have more of a health pool than you do. So I think that's what they do to balance it out. And they do heal themselves. They do heal themselves without, you don't need to command them to do it. They will if there's like no one around and they took some health. So they're useful, but they're dumb. So it is what it is. But that's the game I'm gonna be playing for a while now. I might pop in WRC Generations when I need a few minutes or something. But otherwise, yeah, gonna be playing that for a little while. What about you?
Yes. I've been playing a game that is on my favorite thing, Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, which they confirm is not going to be on Nintendo Switch or PlayStation. Just saying.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, I heard him. I think it was Phil put on He's like, nope, not happened. But back in my mind, I was thinking like David. He's just like, nah. He just has to say that. He's just saying that for now. But
it's gonna happen.
But you wait. Like I was playing it in my head.
It might not have to be like on the systems, but it's gonna get there.
I was playing that in
happen.
I was just hearing your voice
Happen.
in my head, like, nah, man, it's just a ruse. It's just don't believe it. Like on the 4, the 4, 5D, 6D chess moves.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It might, like I said, I said I give it, I give the opportunity that it's just gonna be like on another universal platform kind of thing, but yeah, it's gonna happen.
Anyway, what were you playing on your favorite thing? What were you playing?
A basically a carbon copy, I would say, just in a different skin of Stardew Valley. It's called Coral Island. It's a game in early access on the Xbox, which is now a thing that happens. So it's an in progress game, but it's basically Stardew Valley farming sim game, just with instead of like 2D chibi animation, it's like more in the veins of like the newer what's the classic sim farm sim game from Nintendo?
Harvest Moon.
Yeah, it's like the newer Harvest Moons where like the characters are like the in-game characters are 3D models and like
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think
more
the
like
new ones are Story of Seasons. I think it's called now.
yeah, Story of Seasons, where they're more like real looking, and then the what I told Serena, I had her look at some of the character models and like you should check some of the character models out. They are aggressively sexy. Like not like full on like Coral Island.
Coral
like
Island.
Just look up
okay,
look up Coral Island
Coral
like
Island.
character models, specifically in their bathing suits, because it's like a Hawaiian island almost.
Okay.
So they're almost always in their bathing suits, and they're aggressively sexy. Like the men, the women, like all aggressively sexy.
Oh. Yeah,
which like
I think it's because of this particular art style. I think it just
it's like semi-realistic, like
it
like
just
it's
makes
meant
them
to
sexy
look
in a way. Like it even if
like
they're not trying.
There's like a like there's a black chick that's hot in her bikini. There's an Asian girl, but she's like kind of a nerdy, but she'll wear a bikini that's like, and like it's whatever. Like it's fun for me. I'm just like who am I gonna date? Like I don't have like with Stardew Valley, I like almost automatically had a like she's my best girl. I don't know, just because one, they're all hot, and two, like they all have some pretty good like interesting quirks and personalities about them, and there's a good amount of representation. Like I said, there's a couple black girls and like a family that's mixed Asian and black.
Okay, Blasian. Okay, I'm down with it.
There's Blasian. There's one of the dateable characters is a divorced mom, and when she wears her bathing suit, you can see like the stretch marks that she had from her pregnancy.
Get out of here.
Yeah, what? So there's that representation. There's a lesbian couple.
All right.
I don't think there's no gay couple in the island, but I'm pretty sure there's a character that like once I'm going through his dialogue is like kind of hinting that he's gay. Now I hope that I'm a female character.
Naturally,
so
as you should.
Yeah, naturally. So I'm hoping that like it'll come to the point where like, because it says he's single and like it has the 10. So like what people are not single, they only have like 8 heart events, and the last 2 are like your dating ones, and then the dateable people have 10. And I specifically said, because like in your character model, you have the option to like put male, female, no matter what body you choose. Male, female. There's actually like an obligatory like kind of androgynous model as well. You can put any hairstyle. You can put Mr., Miss, Mix, stuff like that. So again, good representation. My hope is that this guy who's been talking like he's talking about this male guy that he's like really close with. So it's like kind of leading that he's going to be gay. I'm hoping that me as a female character who identifies as female, like won't be able to have a relationship with him, because like that would be really weird if all of a sudden he was just like, maybe I'm not gay because you're into me. Which like in Stardew Valley, you could romance any character. Like there was no set sex.
Yeah.
Which like is okay, but like that's not how the world works. Like there are people who aren't gay or bi. So so that was cool. there's other representation of, like I said, there's an Indian guy. There's, yeah, Asians and all sorts. So it's really cool mix of diversity. The story is like, again, it's in progress. So like they added one of their latest stretch goals was adding like a merman city, and you're supposed to like be able to date mer people, and stuff like that. And there's like, and even in the like the list that you can go to like see your relationships, they're listed as single, but like I can't even talk to them. They're like, anytime I go up to them, they're like, this person has nothing more to say today.
Hmm.
And so like there's no dialogue for them. So like I can't get to know them better. I can't give them gifts to make them like me more. So it's obviously incomplete. There's stores, even though I saved the Mer City, there's stores that like I can't go into. It's just like you're not allowed in here, like it was in the story before I saved the city, because I was like an outsider. But then I had to prove myself. Well, I've done that. I've saved the ocean, and they're still like, yeah, you can't come in here. And I'm just like, okay, should let you motherfuckers die, I guess. I don't know. But there's what I do like is that it like I said, it feels like a fan made like game of like Stardew Valley fans.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like just quality of life improvements, like things like a universal inventory system, to where when you're crafting, instead of having to like have all of the fucking shit, and search through all your boxes to find the right shit to make a sprinkler, you can just craft, and it just takes the global inventory that you have in all of your bins, and just if you have the shit, you're good. You still need to like find individual shit for like quests and like bring it to the person, but that's cool. The In Stardew Valley, you had to like have these totems if you wanted to like fast travel to places, and they were craftable. This one is just like once you do a certain thing, you unlock that fast travel point. You can just travel there from any point, which is cool. Um, there's So in Stardew Valley, you had these like kind of bundles that you had to put together. So like X amount of this kind of fish and blah blah blah. But you had to go there to find out or remember or look at the wiki. In this one, you get a new item and you go to the item description, and it'll say like you can offer this to the little fairy people, or you can donate it to the museum, and it'll show you if you've done it for that item. So a lot of stuff that was just kind of like tedious in Stardew Valley, they have like a nice quality of life improvement to make it better. So I'm enjoying it. It's just one of those things. Like I think I'm at the point of my gaming life where I just like I could be playing Apex. I was enjoying it for a little bit, but like I think I'd just rather just sit and fucking do
Oh,
something, just
you're a
chill.
boomer gamer now, man.
I'm a
You
movie
don't
gamer,
have
like
the octane necessary for Apex anymore, man. You don't got
not
it. Like
really. No, like
I
maybe in the summer, like when I'm teaching in the summer when I have like mass
actual
amount of
some
free
time off
time.
of, yeah.
But yeah, but like I was trying to get back into Apex, and I just didn't have enough time to get good, and
Mm,
it sucked just
mm.
fucking
Yeah,
dying.
it's a bummer, man. Like it's just
Uh,
I would have never thought in 10 years that like the farming sim would have been like one of your favorite genres right now. Like I would have
yeah.
never guessed that. Because
I enjoy just like going into the
no,
mines
I
and
get it. You don't gotta explain it to me, but it's
doing
just like
shit.
knowing you for as long as I have, and back when you talk about blops and all that stuff back in the day, I'm just like I would never have guessed that we'd be at the point where you're
Yeah,
like, man, this new farming sim, man, has got me hooked. I'm like, what are you talking
yeah.
about?
I'm even thinking like, man, like I need to like maybe go back and play, some of the old uh Harvest Moon games and stuff, because I hear like the Harvest Moon games and the Rune Factory games are like really good. So
They
maybe I
say,
need to go back and play
yeah,
those.
yeah, that's what I've heard too. But
The
you
older
well,
ones, not the newer
you
ones.
have fun with your farming sims and your hot, super hot character models. I looked at it. I actually recognized that art style. There was a game. It was like this dating sim game made by the Game Grumps, where it's actually I think it was called like Daddy Some or whatever, and the whole
Yeah,
point was just to date other dads, like
yeah,
um, it but that it had the same art style, and also with that Colonel Sanders dating sim game or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
It has that
Or
similar
the
style.
pigeon sim dating
Oh
game.
yeah,
You
yeah,
should
yeah,
date
yeah.
pigeons.
Yeah, so like it kind of has that art style. I like that art style a lot. I really do because it's like a cool mix, a really good mix of like realistic but cartoonish realism in a way. Like so,
We're gonna
I
pause
like
real
it.
quick. Sorry, my wife's calling. She
Oh,
called twice in a
you're
row.
not home. Oh, okay. All right. But we're gonna move on. I don't know where to start, honestly. So we're just gonna get into the game awards. So as
Cool.
always,
I have no idea.
it's fine. Every year,
I've been more focused on if Otani is gonna break my heart or not,
okay,
which he probably is.
who cares except for you?
Cool
Anyways,
people.
cool people. Yeah, okay. So
Nerds.
so we're not gonna go over the winners because whatever. We're going to kind of go over the announcements because there was a lot of announcements that were shown. Now, I'm not going to cover every one of them. Some of them were kind of, there was a lot of, this year had a lot of reveals, but like no dates and like a lot of cinematic stuff. Like at least half of what was shown was a cinematic rather than gameplay. And so it's like, okay, this isn't coming out this 2024 like for sure. So but some of the stuff did have gameplay, some of it even have release dates. So we will have to see. But anyways, I wrote down everything. Well, I wrote down everything I wanted us to talk about here. 1 second. Okay, so there's no, the order that I wrote the stuff down was not the order it was presented at the show, but that doesn't really matter. But anyways, so first thing was that we have so did you play Monster Hunter World, didn't you?
Like a little
Oh,
bit.
okay, that's my brother then. Well, there's a new one, there's a follow-up now. Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be the next console based Monster Hunter game that's not on the Nintendo system. Well, actually they brought Rise to PlayStation and Xbox, so never mind. But yeah, so continuing that trend, looks like finally they're not doing that split release situation. Hopefully going forward, they just keep they just release them all in the same consoles, because I remember when Monster Hunter World came out, it was like breaking record for Monster Hunter, like left and
Yeah,
right.
it did really well.
And then they decided to just release the next one on the Switch exclusively for a while. And I was like, what? You guys, are you literally dumb? Like, so this one's gonna be for all the consoles, so that's a good move. Hideo Kojima has a new game.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that.
So that's the so that you have heard about that one. Teaming up with,
Just that he was working on something new.
he's teaming up with Jordan Peele, the director. And
Oh.
they really it's Hideo, right? So like
Hideo loves his fucking weird
yeah, so
collabs.
what they showed was they didn't show any gameplay. They showed a few of the actors and actresses in the game, and they were saying some lines, and then they started screaming. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
It was, the game's called OD, like overdose. Here's the loop. Here's the twist, the swerve. Okay, now not confirmed, but what was said or shown was that it is backed by Xbox. I was waiting for him to say like confirm like exclusive, not exclusive.
So
like
the rumor back in the day, this was a while ago. This was like almost right after he got done making
No Gear.
No,
5
the one
or
for
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Okay.
Was that he was in talks with Microsoft to make a standalone game for Microsoft.
Oh, okay.
And it was this weird, just like Hideo doing whatever the fuck he wants kind of thing. So like
okay.
I'd heard that way back.
I didn't know about that. I must have missed that, but this might be what it was or what it is. Yeah. So, but Jordan Peele came out in the show. He was, he given mad props to Kojima. Kojima likewise with, Kojima's a huge movie buff, so he was giving praise back to Jordan. So, hey, even if it's not coming to PlayStation, I will be keeping my eye on this because I want to know what it is. I just want to know what it is. That's really what it is. So, but yeah, so we'll see what more comes of that. But yeah, but anyways, God of War is getting a roguelike mode. It's actually coming out next week. I think on the 12th they said. It drops on December 12th. First time this new God of War has had any meaningful DLC content of any kind, like besides like armor and cosmetic stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the first one, 2018's, didn't have any meaningful content like gameplay or whatever. This is the first one that has it. Hopefully it does well enough to where
Is it paid or free?
It's free. And it's for both PS4 and PS5.
Nice.
And so yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
Still haven't played the game. Still don't have a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I mean, well,
so.
I do, and I still haven't played it. You have a PS4; it'll work on PS4. You can get on PS4. But yeah, so I mean, I hope it does well enough to where it hopefully motivates them to do maybe at least one more little bit of meaningful like story content with the game. I hope.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we'll have to see.
The thing is because of the way they teased all these different like worlds, like the Nordic world and the Japanese and the whatever religion Japanese, I can't remember. But like
Buddhism, I think they
whatever Buddhism, whatever
Buddhism.
They teased in the first one. They teased all these different like pantheons that were out in the world, and then just fucking nothing has come of it. They just stuck with Nordic. Like,
we'll see. We'll have to see.
Why? Why did you even talk about it?
For us to keep talking about it. That's why.
I guess.
So yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Hope it works out pretty well. Kind of funny how this got announced when The Last of Us Part 2 remaster for PS5 is gonna also include a roguelike mode. So it's weird seeing this interesting trend of games including roguelikes.
Sony's like, we're doing roguelikes.
Fuck it, roguelikes. Here we go. Next thing,
Gran Turismo roguelike. Roguelike.
Oh god, no, please no.
You're just in a fucking beat up Honda, just racing. All of a sudden, you see like an NSX, and you're just like, oh, and you just like grab the NSX, and now you're racing the NSX.
Just drive into that, and then boom, immediately turn into that car, and then keep driving until you find a Bugatti, and then you drive into that.
Exactly.
Next thing, there's a new Blade game coming. Marvel's Blade is getting a game. And it's made by Arcane Leon, the guys that did Dishonored. Yeah, the good ones. Yeah. Hopefully not the Redfall people, but
those Redfall people aren't.
Yeah, not those ones, but the Arcane Leon. Yeah, they announced it. They didn't show anything off, but they showed a cool trailer, like a cinematic trailer.
So you guys get Wolverine, we get Blade.
Yeah, so here's the weird thing that I saw. Like, okay, it's made by Arcane.
It better be Wesley Snipes' Blade, not fucking this new guy.
I don't know. He didn't look like either of them, so I don't know. But here's the thing. I found this very strange. I don't know why this is the case, but like, okay, Arcane underneath Bethesda's underneath Microsoft, should be an Xbox exclusive without a question. For some reason, I saw something like, oh, not confirmed if it's Xbox exclusive or not. I was like, it should be. Why wouldn't it be? I'm so confused. So.
Again, because why cut your potential user base that will buy the game by just the system that has
Game Pass, and then you
undersold
on the other system.
Exactly, you do that.
God damn it.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out on PlayStation.
I mean, they did it with Deathloop, but that was because the deal hadn't gone through, I think, completely yet, or maybe it had, or maybe because the game was out before, it was already kind of figured out beforehand. I
can see advantages to both, so like
I don't know. I mean,
whatever. I only have an Xbox, so it doesn't fucking matter.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm not gonna be too mad because, like, yeah, we have Spider-Man and Wolverine and plethora of other games, but like, damn, do Blade, like, that is so dope. Like, I would actually want to play that, like, actively want to play that. If it was good combat and Blade was super dope and badass and everything, like, I want to play that. Now that's a superhero or anti-hero, whatever you want to look at. That's the one I would want to be. That one looks cool. And then Sega, they had teased a little thing a week or so before. People thought it was going to be like a Virtual Fighter new game or whatever. It's not. But what they're doing, they're remaking 5 old ass games. 5, not 1, 5. And they are Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and Crazy Taxi. So,
those are all really good fucking choices.
The big 5, like, honestly, like the biggest 5 that they had back in their, in their back catalog. So
they got it. If they don't, I know like peripherals and stuff are dead, but like, I need a fucking wheel for Crazy Taxi. I need a fucking wheel for Crazy Taxi.
I don't think you need a wheel, but okay.
I need a whole arcade setup.
You don't need a whole cabinet with the seat and the.
Yeah, just like
you don't need it, man. You don't need it.
The whole fucking thing.
Okay, so that was the next thing. No Man's Sky is finally making a different game now instead of the 20-second update for No Man's Sky. So it's called Light No Fire, and it is a third-person kind of game. It has a cool art style. They actually show some gameplay, so you can look it up online. It looks like a third-person open world style game. Now this is actually I'm kind of interested in just because like they've learned so much through all the updates they've done with No Man's Sky. Like I don't think they're still like a AAA studio by any means, but they're definitely not the indie dev that they actually were when they were trying to make No Man's Sky. And so I think with all those lessons, I think this game actually will be pretty decent when it launches. But I don't know if there was a date. I didn't write dates for any of this, but like it looked pretty cool. And the fact that they have some gameplay is promising. So that was next. Final Fantasy 16 is getting its first expansion, and it actually shadow dropped that day, yesterday.
Nice.
So it's available now. And then for me, one of my two that I was pumped for, Rise of the Ronin, which is the follow up to Wolong, the same guys, Team Ninja, all those guys, Neo, Wolong, that I love personally. Their game coming out March 22nd. Like the week after my birthday, bro. Like, so that's gonna be a birthday present for your boy. I'm taking the day off for that one. Also funny, Team Ninja seems to want to drop games around my birthday, and I don't know why. Neo 2 came out in March. Wolong came out in March. This game's coming out in March. I don't know if Stranger of Paradise did, but yeah, I don't know what is up with them in the March date, but they like it, and I don't mind it because I love them, and they seem to love me back. Putting birthdays out during my birthday, so hell yeah for that. Cannot wait to play that. I hope it's like, because people were talking about how Wolong was made by, I guess, a B team from Team Ninja because it didn't really take off like Neo did, and because they were working on Strangers of Paradise, the Final Fantasy Origin game that came out last year. They're thinking people have been speculating. Nothing was ever confirmed, but people have been speculating that the teams were split, and then like we didn't get the main team, like the main Neo team that made Wolong. So I'm hoping whether it's true or not, I hope they got all hands on deck for Rise of the Ronin, because I really don't want I don't want this game to flop like Wolong kind of did, but it's actually for PS5 only. It's not for Xbox, so I'm hoping maybe that keeps them focused, because you know. Because Neo 1 and 2 sold more on one console than Wolong sold on two. So I'm kind of hoping that helps things out a bit.
Neo was on Xbox. Neo 2 was on Xbox.
You will not find out on Xbox.
Neo 2?
Wait.
I played it on Xbox.
I know it went to PC. Are you sure it's on Xbox?
Yeah.
You were playing on a PlayStation. You were not playing on your Xbox.
I'm pretty sure Neo.
You were playing on your PS4.
Xbox.
It's on PC. It's not on Xbox though.
Anyway, continue. I'll figure it out.
You're gonna figure out that you're wrong, but okay. And then after that we got here we go. You want your pirate game? Here's your pirate game.
Go for it.
Skull and Bones. You know, the longest in development game ever made. It has a release date now, or I think it has maybe a new one. I don't know. It has a release date, February 16th. Mark your calendars. That is a little more than 2 months from now.
So looking forward to it now.
There's you want your pirate sim. It is coming in a couple months, unless it gets delayed again. It probably will. And then also
you must have been right. I'm not fine. I thought I played
because
it
it doesn't,
Xbox.
you turn on your PlayStation. I know you don't do it often. Probably why you forgot. But yeah. So Don't Nod, the guys that do Life is Strange, and that this upcoming third-person action game with like that mixed race couple with one's like a ghost or whatever. It was pretty. I don't know the name of it, but it was pretty cool. They announced another game that they're working on called I did not write it down, but it has a really I was watching with some friends and we were making fun of it because it's like so brooding and like so like teenage angst and everything. Apparently it takes place in the 90s. So
they do teenage angst pretty
bust
good.
out your flannel shirts and your Pearl Jam albums because we're going back to the 90s. And so I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be an angsty filled ride and take people back to high school again. For the DBZ fans, so we heard about the Tenkaichi 4, or we were calling it Tenkaichi 4. And it looks like it got renamed. It's called Sparking Zero. I guess it is a Tenkaichi game, but it got renamed. I could be wrong. It could just be another game, but this seems to be what I've been reading. People are calling it a Tenkaichi game, so I'm assuming it's what we were calling 4. The fact that they don't even include the Tenkaichi Budokai name as a subtitle or something is interesting to me. because
Yeah,
I feel
might
like
be something different.
that's gonna like because amongst the DBZ fans or anime fans, that's like one of the goats, right? Whether you like it or not, it's one of the goats of anime games, right?
Mm.
And so to think that they're not even including the title, like weird. So I don't know, but that got announced. This new game from Ori and the Will of the Wisps and the other one that they did, the two Ori games. They have a new game called
I knew that.
No Rest for the Wicked. It has such a cool art style. It's so cool. Now it's a top-down view, not too far up down, like not like Diablo or Divinity Original Sin. It's a little bit closer, but still isometric. But the art style is so cool, man. And I don't know if it's gonna. I think it's Xbox exclusive since I think they're owned by Xbox, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's probably gonna be a cool Xbox exclusive that you guys are with. And then Jurassic Park Survival got announced. A new Jurassic Park game. Now apparently, and I didn't know this. There's a bit of a history behind this game. So apparently, the game with the same title was actually announced in 2000, the year 2000. And it was supposed to actually adapt the third movie at the time, but I guess it just never.
The movie flopped.
Yeah, I know it didn't do well, but at least did it not do well financially and commercially, or just by okay. Anyways, but things fell through and it didn't happen, and now it's come back. But it's going to be looks based on the trailer we saw, it's going to be focused more on the first movie, like the aftermath of the first movie. And you play as I don't know if she's a brand new character, the whole franchise, or she looked new to me. Now, apparently it's supposed to be an action-adventure game, but what I saw looked like it might be a first-person survival game. I hope it's not that, because I don't like survival games of any kind. But if it's even if it's first-person, if it's like an actual narrative, I'd be down to play that. I'm gonna be scared out of my mind to see a T-Rex in my freaking face, but I'll give it a go. Bit of surprise here. Secrets of Mana. And that little series, the old one of the goats, one of the old JRPG goats. A new game in that series is getting made. It was called Visions of Mana, I believe. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. But for those I'm sure JRPG fans lost their minds when they saw that. So, but you and I are not that. But I'm sure it's gonna make some people happy somewhere. And then the last two things I wrote down are for me, of course. Again, first thing, out of nowhere, this was not on the bingo card at all. Remember Brother Tale of Two Sons?
Yep.
Getting remade.
One of your favorites.
It's getting remade.
Oh, nice.
And I saw a trailer for it. It's completely remade. I never even bothered to think.
One of the games that made you cry.
Yeah, so. Legitimately cry. By myself. No one saw me. Man tears. But it was. Out of all the games, I would have never asked for that game to get remade. But hey, that's gonna be a day one for me. I'm sure it'll be no more than $30. So it's going to be a budget title. I'm totally game. I'm totally down for it. And it'll be the third time I play it. So 3 generations on, it's never going to die. I can't wait. And I'm probably going to cry again, but there'll be next gen tiers. So it'll be fine. And then lastly, Black Myth Wukong comes out August 20th.
Nice. Finally.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we fucking saw shit we saw
4 years
trailers
ago?
to that game.
How long ago was it?
Yeah, it's 4 years ago, and it was oh, this game isn't real. This is just a
tech demo or something.
A tech demo or whatever. And then they're like, no, it's real. I'm well, then fucking show us more. No, we refuse to show you more. I just said it's fucking fake.
Well, then you gotta wait a year. We'll show you in a year from now. And then we were like, whatever, fuck you. And then a year came, and then we were like, wait, what? This was real? He was like, yeah, bitches, it was real. I fooled you all. And we're like, whatever, show us more. No.
No.
It's like, well, okay, fine. And then a year later, he's like, hey, you want more still? Here you go. Because I guess when he showed footage this past summer, I guess he's been showing stuff on the anniversary of that initial date, and I didn't notice that until I read it. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Now I read a report. Apparently, that studio got big enough through time, funding and everything, that I guess it's been coming under some allegations of some workplace issues and such. I hope not, because I need this game. I need this game. They put a trailer out for it, an actual good trailer. It looks wild. It looks freaking wild. Now it was less.
Yeah, it always has.
It was less on the combat and more on the story this time. Finally,
Mhm.
and some more of the enemies that you fight some weird stuff in this game. Weird stuff. Like if you didn't know the Monkey King, you'd be like, "What game is this?" Like I was watching the trailer, I saw some other enemies, and I was like, "What am I watching here?" And then I was like, then I saw the Monkey King, and I was like, "Oh, it's Black Myth." Oh man, yeah. So I am, as you are. That's probably one of the few games we are both actually pumped for, like equally. Like I am
Always,
excited
I
for that.
I am always excited for a new Souls like or whatever we want to call it. I don't I want I like I think we talked about this before. I want there to be a different word for the genre than Souls like because now Souls likes are like specifically to the Souls formula, but it's still like Souls and Neo still share like a common like features and thematicness to it, but like calling Neo a Souls like, as you pointed out, is disingenuous. But like, yeah, so like hard ass, action
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to
combat
eventually
game.
get to the point. Now, if let's say Rise of the Ronin does fairly well. Now, I'm not saying like Elden Ring status or anything, but just does really good for itself. Hopefully, we can get more into the vernacular of just maybe a Neo like. Hopefully, like a sub genre of it, so that people can properly distinguish between a Souls like and a Neo like, because like I've said a million times, people who play Souls likes and like them, whether it's from the From Software or otherwise, other people jumping in from any of that to Neo is going to be a bit jarring because of how different it interacts with itself. Actually, seeing Lords of the Fallen makes me think of Neo just only in the sense of like its inventory and its build management. It's not just like choose the weapon that scales with this choose the stat you want to push that scales with your weapon or something like that. It's more like it seems to be more like you need to get pieces of armor and make sure that works with certain amulets or accessories you have, and make sure the weapon scales with that, or does certain, if you want to have it focus on a certain type of damage, then you want to have pieces that buff that even further to do that extra damage to the enemies and such. And so I'm like, looks like it's kind of taking some cues from Neo in a way. And I'll actually argue Liza P does too, just because of its a more like it's more linearity, and also with how it's like it's not mission based, but it is chapter based. And so
Mm.
it does split up the action. You can stop at a point. You know what I mean? Like you can easily go back to the hotel and chill. Like literally, no enemy ever comes into the hotel, and you're fine. So it made me think of Neo in that sense. So it looks like some things aren't just only taken from Souls games; they're taken from other inspirations too. So, and I like it. That's probably why I like Lies of P so much, because it reminded me of some bits of Neo. But anyway, so so that was that was all this some of the biggest stuff that was announced. For me personally, that's not either Rise of Rome or Black Myth. Like that Blade game, I am pumped. Like I want to see more of that Blade game. Like
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
yeah, I would ask you what you're most pumped for. You didn't see any of it, so we'll move on. And quickly,
No,
just
and
to
I'm assuming that no New Vegas remake was
no, there
announced.
was no New Vegas.
Yeah,
I mean, Todd,
so
good old Todd was there at the show, but he didn't. Oh, they showed up the new show. They showed up a preview of the show. If you want to watch the Fallout show,
oh, there's a Fallout show. I didn't even
you
know.
didn't know. I
No.
saw some stuff, but I was hoping it wasn't real because I really don't want it to exist. But it's real, and it airs soon. It's airing with through Amazon's Prime thing or
I mean,
whatever.
I have Amazon Prime, so I'll probably give it a go.
Hey, let us know how it is, man. Give us those reviews, because I'm not watching this shit. I'm not watching it at all.
we're
So
not we're not doing a Last of Us s
nah, nah, not at all.
foray
I don't
into
even know how you
show reviews.
tell. Like, where are they even starting? What, what do you even do? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like. And like
And it's like
the
the
ghoul didn't even look that good, in my
and it's
opinion.
so like it's so based on like the whole game series is based off of player choice.
Yeah,
But like, how do you have player choice when you're telling like a narrative?
I
My
don't.
my my thing, I guess, would be like if the character is like a a wanderer or a chosen or whatever. I think that's probably a bad idea. Like, just tell the story of like Brotherhood or Enclave or whatever, or like the story of the world. I wouldn't have it be like, oh, a vault dweller, and we follow a vault dweller. I wouldn't do that, but
I don't know.
we'll
I
see.
haven't
I'll,
seen
I'll,
any
I'll give it a
trailer.
go. I'll watch it. We'll see.
I
We'll
don't
see what
remember what the
happens.
release date was. I did not care enough to pay attention to that. Oh, but Twisted Metal is getting a second season apparently.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw that was. I randomly like saw it. I think it's on Peacock or
Yes, it is
something,
on
and I'm just
Peacock.
like, oh,
It's on Peacock. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's second
Like,
season. It got approved. I guess it did well enough for second season. Anthony Mackie, he's a funny guy. He showed up to give the award, a certain award for something, and he came out. He announced that Peacock season 2 was coming, and then like he was just playing with the crowd for like 3 minutes straight, and it was hilarious. Like I was personally, the people I was watching were kind of getting kind of done with it, but I was living it up. I was loving it because you don't see that very often. So
yeah,
like he was like he heard like some fans said something. He didn't really catch it, but it was just like he's like, I say a lot of quotes, but doesn't mean you gotta say them all or something like that, and like pointing out to the crowd other things. I thought it was funny because I just like that. So and I don't really know much about Anthony Mackie besides that he's Falcon. That's all I know about him.
yeah.
So I was like, he seems like a
It's
cool
the only
guy.
thing I
He
see.
seems like a cool guy.
He's been in. He was so like what I remember him from is Falcon. He's in 42, which is the Jackie Robinson movie. That's
Oh, he was
pretty
in that.
good.
He was in that.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's the reporter
oh, I didn't know
dude.
that.
He's like a side character. I've maybe seen him in some other stuff. He's never been like the lead in anything.
Well, he was the lead in Twisted Metal, I think. So
Yeah,
he's in this. So
so
anyway,
maybe.
so that was announced, and also this was announced with the show. But in related news, Last of Us season 2 is supposed to, I forget if it was airing or producing whatever in 2025. So
Cool.
we'll see.
Whatever. Give me more of it.
Yeah, I know. Give it in
Like,
my veins. Need it
yeah,
now. Like
the
give
first
it.
season was so fucking good.
So
I'd
good,
like.
man.
I don't know if they've announced like if they're just gonna be like time skipping and doing two
Yeah, it said
or what.
nothing about anything. Bella
So
seems to
fuck
still
it. I don't
be
know.
Bella still seems to be part of it. So I don't know. No one knows
Yeah,
anything. But like they won the award for best. Last of Us won the award for best adaptation. But
good. What else was fucking on the docket? There was like
the movie Super Mario movie, which like that's a close contender, honestly.
it was good. It was no Last of Us 2.
Hey, I'm just saying, man, it was there. So and those other things that were out too. I can't. Oh, the
It
Twisted
should have
Metal
just
show,
been called the Last of Us 2 Award.
I know.
Like,
Yeah, like no,
they
trust me.
should have
Like,
just come out and been like, "We're changing the name of this award to the Last of Us 2 Award." Mario won it, and they're just like, like,
no, like trust me, there were some awards that were shown that was just like, there's no, okay, like best audio. What else was going to win besides Hi-Fi Rush? Tell me, like nothing was
yeah.
going to win besides Hi-Fi Rush.
You mean the game based off of music?
Yeah, okay. Let's go to Final Fantasy. There you go. So it's like, I mean, they actually Final Fantasy did win for best score because that's different. And
Yeah, it's different.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy, yeah, that's like their lineage, right? But like best audio, it was like it should just be called Hi-Fi Rush the award. Like no one else would win. That's like if Guitar Hero didn't win best audio for a game of the year. Like no, you have to win. Like you made your whole game about it. So
I mean, I would argue the Hi-Fi Rush deserves it more than Guitar Hero because like they built a whole like I know Guitar Hero did, but they just playing the songs. Where Hi-Fi Rush, the mechanics revolve around the audio.
Oh no!
Like if the audio was shit, you couldn't play the fucking game.
Like okay, like if they were up together, yes, but I'm like, respectively, you know, 07, like yeah, they would have. It's like how else you don't. But anyway, anyways, it was that. But like yeah, game of the year, Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, we were right. Yeah, I looked it up just because like
I didn't need to be told I was right. I was like, I already knew. As soon as it was confirmed that the public vote was only 10% of the overall vote, I was like, oh, it's done deal. Done deal. Baldur's Gate wins. Like, it has to win. There's no way it can't win. Like, no other game pushed this medium further this year than Baldur's Gate did. Like, it was what Elder Ring was.
One day I'll play it.
One day I will not play it. But it basically was the exact same thing that Elder Ring did for RPGs or open world games. Just literally the same gravity. Yeah, it may not have been the movement seller per se, but like
it fucking could have if Xbox just got their head out of their ass. It could have been as big as Elden Ring.
But as far as just impact, just like importance, it is just as important as Elden Ring was for its respective genre. So it is going to push CRPG specifically, but I'm sure even just general RPGs forward in a hopefully positive direction. It's going to make all other RPGs like perk up. It's so funny how much it overshadows Starfield. It's ridiculous because like I don't know about you, but after Fallout 4 happened, I started seeing games kind of followed that same kind of conversation format, where like as soon as your character's a certain way, you say something, it pans to the other side.
I mean,
and
it
say
started
something.
with Mass Effect, but
Oh,
yeah,
you're right, But I didn't see it adapted at the time. But like Fallout 4 comes out, right? And then I play Ratchet and Clank, the reboot,
that's
whatever
like
game,
that.
and
Yeah.
you would meet the same characters, but they redid it. Instead of a cutscene, it was like this, Ratchet talks, but he's like, in game, in character, and then the dude talks. I'm just like, I didn't ask to play Fallout. I asked to play Ratchet and Clank. Why is it done in the Fallout way? This feels lazy. Just make a cutscene. I didn't ask for this. I want a cutscene. Like that's what made me love the characters, was you had freedom of expression with the cutscenes. When they're just standing still, moving slowly, and saying words to me, doesn't make me like you. Like, especially when these are characters that, like, unlike in Baldur's Gate where you actually interact with them for a long time, these are characters that have like 3 minutes of screen time at the most. So
Yeah.
it's like you got to make the most of it. But when you do it like Fallout, you lose it. So I didn't like it, but like it's like Baldur's Gate has that kind of similar dialogue that I've seen, but it's obviously so much more drawn out. And it, like, I remember your common critique with Fallout was that like the decisions are crap and they don't matter and all this and that, and it's like then you play Baldur's Gate and it's just like it does the same kind of style format presentation.
To be specific, not Pacific.
Both Pacific and Pacific.
3 and 4, the decisions don't really matter. New Vegas, the best Fallout game, he does. So, but anyway.
Okay, well, I've only heard you really talk about it with 4 specifically, because with the way it presents it and then how it ultimately is like, okay, well,
it's the worst out of the 3.
So,
for sure.
But like Baldur's Gate has that same like presentation of it, but then like because there's so much back end stuff taken care of, it's like so much more better. So it's just like, I hope Bethesda saw Baldur's Gate, and I hope whatever game they come out next, they take all the cues from that, because their way,
or just
it
let
doesn't work
Obsidian
anymore.
fucking make everything they do. Like,
but like, yeah, like their way of doing it just isn't cutting it anymore. Now that we have Baldur's Gate, now that we know what perfection looks like, they're gonna have to step it up.
But we've already fucking did. It was Fallout New Vegas. We had it. We fucking played the game. I've played the game so many fucking times.
Yeah, but
and they still fucking came out with 4.
But the thing is, you can't just have New Vegas and be done. Like you gotta have that, but make it. But you have to.
You can do the things that New Vegas did. It's not like it's hard. It's work, but you can do it.
Well,
you have the game.
Bethesda, find this man, find David, let him consult with you. He'll tell you what you need to do. Anyway, moving on. Last thing we're gonna talk about is the GTA 6 trailer. It came out on the 5th, so like Tuesday. But it was leaked. It was leaked on Monday, but it was officially revealed on Tuesday.
And then they forced.
Yeah, like it was funny. I had heard initial rumors that apparently it was a kid of one of the employees, but apparently it was someone else.
That's what I heard, was a kid.
Yeah, I heard that too, but then I heard it might be a kid or someone else, like an employee.
And there's conspiracy theories that they did this on purpose.
It doesn't matter. The thing is that it was funny that Rockstar was like, "Well, leakers couldn't do it, right? So here you go." That was funny. I thought that was really funny, but I decided to watch it on Tuesday just to, I don't know, be true to the word. I don't know, but anyways, so I saw it. You watched it. So okay, keep this in mind. We're not. Oh, you played GTA 5, right? And 4. So would you call
4 a little?
How much of a fan
would
you consider yourself of GTA overall?
I like it. I was already planning on playing 6 when it came out. Like 5 did a good enough job of hooking me that I was like, oh, I'll play 6.
Okay.
But like, I never got on to the online GTA because fuck that noise.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I played, like we were talking about it. I played the storyline all the way through. I didn't 100% it or anything.
Oh yeah, you beat that game. Yeah, you beat 5.
Yeah,
one of the.
I would say that Red Dead Redemption made me want to play all of Fallout 5. Not Fallout 5. Gran Turismo 5. Because I was like, oh man, the story, these guys can make really good stories, and the gameplay's fun. Let me try 5, and I was like, oh, it's a good story too. So I was already planning on playing 6, but we'll talk about the trailer later.
So
but yeah,
okay, well, I'm not a fan.
I would say I'm a fan, but I'm not
fan.
like
okay. I'm not a fan of GTA. Never have been. I'm watching the trailer just for us to talk about on the podcast. And because of that, I'm not going to be fanboying at all and be, have rose tinted classes like I'm sure a lot of you will. But I was not taken too much aback with the game or with the trailer. I thought it was kind of funny, especially like because now it's. I saw a comment underneath the trailer on the channel that I saw it on, and it was like, finally, Florida, the game. And I was like, that's about right. That's about right. What I love is that I can't wait for people outside of the US to play this, and honestly, just literally think that's what Florida is. But then we're like, I mean, kind of, yeah. Like
it's not Florida.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just Florida all of the time.
Yeah,
like
it's like
it's what you think of Florida and what it is sometimes. Just all of the time.
Like alligators being around. That's very real. Like that is not a joke. I had some family that lived there. We were visiting them years ago, and they had a big house. There was like I'm not sure if I was blood related to them or by a marriage, but like I was visiting them with my family, and yeah, alligators popped up in their backyard. Just there, just showed up. Like, and like when you're at hotels, there'll be alligators just there, or crocodiles, whatever it is. But like they will literally just walk around because half of Florida is just a swamp. So like they are there. They will show up. That is not a lie. So yeah, like that's true. The wild partying, I'm sure it's probably crazy in Miami, but I don't know if it's popular everywhere in Florida. But I'm sure it's huge.
There's definitely a scene for it. Like it's
I'm not saying it's not right, but like people who are just gonna be like, oh man, Florida's crazy. It's like, well, Miami's crazy, but like I don't know about all of Florida. They showed I guess they did a parody of an actual Florida killer. He was like the Florida Joker or whatever. That's actually a real parody, like of a real person who was trying to
and they do that a lot.
Florida Joker or whatever his name was in real life. That was a real person apparently. I didn't know that. I just thought it was just some crackhead. I was like, nah, that's not right to me. I can see a dude from Florida look like that. Like, absolutely. So, yeah, what I will say is we got next gen twerking. I never thought I would live to see the day
that booty be bouncing.
That we figured out how to twerk in video games, man. I never thought I would see the day we got twerking. We got next gen twerking. I almost wanted to sign myself up right there.
Top of a car.
Yeah, like that was hilarious. I was like, wow, we have come so far, haven't we? We've come so far. Those are the jiggle physics I'm looking for right there, okay?
Yeah. You thought the strip clubs in GTA 5 were a problem. You ain't seen shit.
These because for those who don't know, Florida is the closest state to the Caribbean. Cuba, Tijuana, a lot of those Caribbean countries, and there's a lot of immigrants who come from there up to Florida. So a lot of Florida, especially southern Florida, has a lot of Hispanic mommies in there, man, and they thick as a milkshake. Let me tell you something.
As the kids told me the last couple of weeks I've been subbing, I've gotten into the
hip
culture.
Lingo. You're in the hip lingo. You know. And what are the kids saying?
They got gyats. They got gyats.
Gyats.
Yeah.
Have you asked how to spell that? Because I'm trying to figure out how to say it.
I think it's like GEOT.
Goats.
No, it's gyats.
Gyats. Damn, that's what it is. That's a bunch of gat dams.
Damn.
Gat damn.
Yeah.
Oh no.
My bad. It's GYATT.
That's gyat. That's gyat for short for goddamn, if I've ever seen it. So yeah, that's what that is. So
a term people use to describe a guy or girl with a fat ass.
There you go. So you better lock your mamas up and your dads up, because they don't want to see this game. I'll tell you that right now for free. So but yeah, so that was funny. I was very impressed. I'm apparently he wasn't okay. This person is not with Rockstar. He's a former employee, but he says that what we saw in that is actually in game. Apparently.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then damn. Goddamn.
Goddamn. So we were talking earlier, and I told him I was going to go back and rewatch. I wanted to rewatch the Grand Theft Auto 5 release trailer because I wanted to compare, because the graphics that we got in this trailer were some of the best graphics, if it's in game, that I've seen. Like, this is what I would consider this is next gen. We've been talking about that we haven't had a next gen in terms of graphics game this entire generation. And that was next gen graphic looking shit. Like the way the hair moved on there was a time where a guy looked like he was a rapper or whatever, had his dreads, and his dreads were like flowing, and they flowed realistically. And then you had the Gyat lady twerking on the car, and just the way that Gyat was moving. We now, are we overusing the word Gyat now?
I don't know. You
I don't.
might be, but
Anyway, but like we've seen trailers look really fucking good, and it was just all cinematic and in the computer and CG and stuff. So I wanted to see, and at least compared to the Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer, Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer is in-game shit, and it looks exactly like what we got in-game. So if we get anywhere close to what we got in that trailer in-game, it's going to be the best looking game on consoles by far.
hopefully, because I still hold up to this day, RDR2 is probably the most
Yes,
fantastic looking game
it looked
today.
like I would
Still.
say it's not even that much of like it's a jump, but it's not a ginormous jump from RDR2 to
No,
what
I
we
don't
saw
think
in that
so. I
trailer.
don't think so. Especially when you think of RDR2 back in your mind, you actually almost tell yourself like, I mean, this is good, but like, you kind of for what? Because like when RDR2 came out, man, I remember first seeing it. I was like, no, there's no, this isn't in the game. And then they were like, no, this is gameplay. I'm gonna press the pause button right now. I was like, what the,
Yeah,
like,
but I would say this is a step up. Like if you look like if you got too close to RDR2, you could tell that it was
okay,
digitalized and
if you
stuff. But
start getting close, yes, you'll start
yeah,
seeing
but
it.
we got a lot of really close up of a lot of different character models, and it looked fantastic. So I'm saying if we get that in game, it's going to be the best looking game
Yeah, we'll have to
on
see. We'll
console.
have to see. And if it is cinematic, that's fine. I don't care. I would like to see it in movement, actual gameplay movement. So we'll have to wait some months for that. But yeah. So I mean, like, I still wasn't really impressed because I don't care. But like, it was cool to see what they've, how they're portraying Miami or Florida. Southern Florida, probably Southern Florida more so. But like, I think that's really cool. They are going back to that more Vice City theme. I don't know if it's the exact same place or not, but it looks like they're going back to that. Um, I will be interested to see kind of what they do with the game. Like, I think the reason why I never really liked GTA, but I love RDR, is that for some reason, I mean, they're both unrelatable to me, but like RDR is somewhat more relatable than GTA, and I don't know
Because it's
why.
like history, so like you don't have like a that's not your world. Whether it's it is your world because it was the past, but like that's history, so it's easier to for your brain to accept as reality
Hmm.
and not to be like but then you look at GTA and you're like that's like not fucking Los Angeles.
I
Like
don't
it
know,
looks like
because
Los
like
Angeles, but it's too fucking
I don't
wild.
like I played Watch Dogs and I didn't have that issue, right? I mean, it wasn't a
Because
good
it's
game.
futuristic. Again, it's not GTA is today right now. Like that is what it's saying. But you don't have any suspension of disbelief within the world with it saying like, oh, it's in the future or near future. Even near future is just like what could change in 10 years. Like a lot of shit could change in 10 years. We're talking about CRISPR uh you know uh being put into testing right now where we're changing DNA. Like, so in 10 years, what the fuck's that going to be? 10 years, what's AI going to be? But like, and then history is history. But if you're like, no, this is a representation of today, right now, and we know we're not going out and seeing some lunatic fucking carjacking shit left and right. Like, that's not happening. I think that's why.
Hmm.
Like,
Because
I think for you in
the way
particular.
you said it seemed like you learned this in school recently. You busted that out way too fast. But who knows?
God,
Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I just never it never gravitated to me. Like, I don't know. Maybe the idea of being a gangster or being a crazy person just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know. Who knows why? But it doesn't pull me in. But I know it does to 99% everyone else. I know I'm the outlier. You don't need to tell me. I already know it. I've always been that way. I actually have a copy of San Andreas for PS3 on my shelf, and I have not played it. I popped it in one time in my system, and I got upset because I got a fucking trophy for it, and I didn't expect that to happen. So now I can't get rid of it. But I only got it. I didn't ask for it. It was an old regular at our store that we were at our old GameStop we used to work at. He got it for me for some weird. Remember, he got you Oni Chibara, but got me GTA San Andreas, and we were like, "You want to trade?" No, you were like, "I don't play this." I was like, "I do. Give me that shit." So I got it from you, but then you didn't want GTA, so I was stuck with that, and so I'm like, "Shit, all right." And I don't want to give it back to the guy. He just got me a Christmas gift, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Evan, if you're watching this, you're a real one.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
we miss you. We love you.
you're a real one, but I didn't need that game. But so now I have it, and I'm now at the point I'm keeping it because I bet you it's gonna be hella expensive someday because it was a limited run on the PS3. It was just put on the disc. It's the PS2 version, just remastered, but like I'll have to play it one day. I'm not looking forward to it. Anyway, so any other thoughts on the GTA trailer, David? You got?
Yeah, I mean, like, so I thought it was graphically impressive. Like I said, if we get those graphics in game, I personally think it's going to be the best looking game we've had on console ever. Which is going to get obviously a lot of eyes on it because graphics just get eyes on shit. I think the setting is perfect. Grand Theft Auto, especially the setting and the date. So like we had Vice City, but it was like Vice City,
80s.
so it was like Miami in the
80s.
80s, which again was a wild fucking time. That's like the height of the cocaine run and all that shit. That's where we get Scarface from.
Yeah.
But I think like this for the modern day GTA is perfect for it. Like, we have Florida man stories for a fucking reason.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, people.
So
they're not
like,
lies. They are real.
Yeah. So like, I think it's a perfect setting. I love the fact that it seems like we're going to get another well thought out narrative in the face of they could have just fucking released this game as, GTA 6 and have it just be an online game with these new graphics. Like they could have done that. The GTA 5 online is what made them billions and billions of dollars. They could have just done that, and I think that it would have been a success. But the fact that it seems like we're going to get a well thought out narrative with seemingly like either like a co-op storyline or something like that. I don't know if they're going to do what I would love, and I don't know how deep you want to get into this because I have thoughts. So in 5 they did a rotating narrative where you got story from different perspectives and you can make the characters make different decisions, but it all ran simultaneously, right? So like you knew what each side was doing at all times. I would love for this narrative, because it seems like we're going to get a female character for the first time, which is awesome. She looks really cool, super interested in her storyline, and then like her lover, I don't know if it's boyfriend, husband, whatever, and they're kind of like my guess, total guess, just based off of the little trailer I got. But she was in prison probably because of the way our prison system works. She probably
drugs. It's drugs. No, it's gotta be drugs.
She got into prison probably for financial reasons.
Oh,
and
drugs.
That the prison system did not help her with that. So when she gets out of jail, she still needs money, probably even worse. So that story is going to be interesting. I would love it because people are talking like, this is going to be kind of like a love thing that like, and then one of them betrays the other or whatever. If that's the case, if we're going to get, where they make decisions, they move up in the crime market and eventually they betray each other. I would love it to where you pick one or the other person to play as, and you don't get to see, like, you make your decisions. You don't get to see your partner's decisions. Like, you don't get that part of the storyline. So that way it would allow you to play through the game as the girl, make the decisions and whatever the computer, scripted to make their decisions, and you have that final confrontation. And then you can replay the game from the guy's perspective and see all the reasons why he might have made those decisions that he made in your game. And are you going to make the same decisions, or are you going to make different decisions? Like, are you going to change the narrative? And so, like, I think that would be really cool. I don't want to have the same where I can freely switch between the both of them. I want to have to pick which one I'm going to play as, and then that person has a unique storyline that I play.
The issue with
then I can choose the guy and play his unique storyline, knowing then, oh shit, this is the shit. Like, I know the shit that she's doing. I know the decisions that she has to make. I wonder what the computer will make in those cases.
The issue with
Like,
that is that okay? So what you're saying is I don't know if you play Resident Evil, but the Resident Evil like 2 and especially specifically 2 because I had two protagonists as well, Claire and Leon. Um, the cool thing about that was that you play like let's say you want to play as Leon first, right? And then you could play they call that scenario A, Leon scenario A. And then when you beat the game, you can play either you can play Claire scenario A, or you like a scenario B, you can play as Leon scenario B or Claire scenario B, and it actually does fill in the gaps, right? And like you do play each other's respective stories, and you actually kind of do go through different routes and like same area, it's the same police station, but you go in different, completely different ways, and you have entirely different situations happening that are exclusive to each character, right? But that works because that game's only like 5 hours long. GTA 6 is going to be a 50,000 hour long game. Only few people are going to want to play that game twice.
well, like here's the thing. So the main storyline, if you stick to the main story missions of GTA 5, I think it was only like 10 hours ish long.
That was also 10 years ago. Games are much bigger. RDR2
True.
is like 50, 40 hours minimum, even if you're not, trying to do everything in the game.
I don't think so. I think it's shorter than that. If you go just main missions on RDR2, I don't think it's that long.
Okay, it's definitely longer than 10. It's like at least 20. It's got to be.
But anyway, like I think it would be cool, but we'll have to see what they do.
No, your idea is great. I just don't know if that's what they will do, because the only people who are going to do that are idiots like me who need to get the platinum trophy and do both playthroughs. That's it. Most other players probably aren't going to want to go through both characters, especially most guys. They're probably not even going to care to play with the girl. So I know you do. I do. But a lot of dudes, especially with the GTA crowd, we know the GTA crowd. We sold games to them. We know who they are. They're probably not even going to want to play as her. I mean, there's already a lot of backlash as a female protagonist in the first place. So
I don't know like, of a lot of backlash. There's incels. Backlash. There's incels that are making a huge deal out of fucking.
I mean,
nothing.
Yes, I know, and incels are always going to incel, but like, I'm just saying, and people will. I mean, we'll see in the data if there are. See, a good way to know is if they do make achievement/trophy for both playthroughs, like finish the game as her, finish the game as him. That trophy percentage will tell you that's the data you want to look at, because everyone. I mean, I guess the only way you wouldn't know is if you weren't signed in. But like,
and I think that way. even with that, I would say like I'm not looking for the split to be like more female playthroughs. Like I don't think that is what you want to look at, because I don't think that'll happen. Even if it was well received, I think the majority of people who are going to play GTA are going to be males, and typically you want to play as the person that represents you. So the male playthrough would be not artificially, but just skewed towards male regardless. I think if what you'll look at is like, is it at least like respectable? Is it 30%?
Oh,
I would say if it hits like 30%, then that's a pretty good
I wasn't
ratio.
saying in the sense of I wasn't saying in the sense of like who they'll play as more. It was just more so like you'll get the data of who even played it to completion at all, right? Like whether they wouldn't expect it to be a 50-60%, but like if it was like 30, I think that's solid. Actually for most games that's actually pretty good, because most people don't finish games. Like
that's true.
Like I can actually
look at
it ain't just you, it's most people. Like I know my trophy percentage of any game that has like story progression trophies in it. I can go to the last one. That drop off is ridiculous. You get like 10% of players that finish the game.
You talk about even a game like Hi-Fi Rush that like exploded onto the scene, and I think the completion rate is under 10%.
Yeah, it drops off crazy,
ridiculous,
crazy. You have like 99% of the first chapter, and then like you get to the end of the game, and it's like 10, sometimes less than 10%. And I'm like, what do you guys do? Like, why do you even get a game and you don't finish it? Like, I'm not even talking about platinuming or 100%. Like, you don't even finish the game. Like, what do you do? You should know, David. What do you do? Like, why I mean, you have Game Pass now, but like back when you had to buy games, like, why would you do that to yourself?
When I had to buy games, like I would say probably like 75 to 80% of the game. Like unless it sucked, I wasn't just fucking abandoning a game like
But that's
you know,
still so like
10% way
you're
through.
getting to the crescendo of the game, and you're just like, nah, I'm good, I'm fine.
But a lot of these games too I was buying were long games. So like most of the time I got a good worth out of it.
I mean, if you get your money's worth, fine. But it's just like, for someone like me who's just like, see it through. Like, why would you stop? Like, but anyways, but
Yeah.
so that's kind of what's getting about the trophy percentage data. Like, you can kind of look at like, did they even bother with it? I'm not saying they couldn't do it justice. I'm sure they will. It's Rockstar, and like, I'm sure they'll do great with it. But it's just like it's a bummer because it's like, is it even going to see most light of day? You know, like I just don't see it, which is a shame because I'm sure it'll be a fantastic narrative regardless of who you choose. I mean, but like they might just go the other more safer route where it's either like, you know, especially if they want to, if they do make it co-op and they make the whole
Yeah.
campaign fully co-op,
That'd be it.
they might have to take that concession of not do what you're saying because otherwise
Or you get an achievement for completing the game in co-op.
yes, but I was saying because like if you're playing co-op, you want to play with the person, but like if you're like something like you like what you're saying, they may have to be in completely separate areas, which defeats the purpose of co-op in the first place. So you know, it kind of thing like that. But what to see? These are all speculation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be following it even if I don't care, but I'll be following it. David will be because he cares. I know a lot of people will be because they all care. I know I'm the
I'm gonna
weirdo.
play it.
I know I'm the weirdo. You don't gotta tell me. I know I'm the weirdo. I mean, if it like changes a lot of stuff and I don't know does enough cool gameplay stuff that I like to do, then maybe. But it never has, so there you go. But hey, with RDR2 pushing their whole studio into such a crazier positive direction, I will be interested to see how they take the GTA formula, learning what they did with RDR2 to the GTA franchise. So we'd be curious to see what happens. I'll be keeping my eye on it. We'll see what happens. And we'll see if we get Bigfoot.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
I'm sure something like that.
We're gonna wrap up this podcast here. A lot we had to cover a lot. We had to steamroll through it again. But hey, man, it's all good times. Things are slowing down. It's December. Beginning December. The only thing that's really out big was the Avatar game, which came and went. So yeah,
It
I
was
heard it was
a
okay.
thing.
Heard it was all right, but I mean, so was Starfield. So hey, so
Yay for all right games.
yeah, so you know, we may, you know, when we meet again, we may not have as much to go over, but we'll figure something out. But yeah, until then, guys, you all take care. Let us know if you agree with the Game of the Year award if you're excited for GTA 6. Until then, bye bye.